Tom Myers decided to post his most recent stand-up set that he did last week. So let's get an update on Tom Myers stand-up.
He's got a podcast called Tom Myers Against the Rest of the World. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together
it's
for
versus,
Mr. Funny, Tom Myers.
Now, I watched this once. What he's going to do is, when he starts off, he's going to try to talk about where he is. A lot of times when comedians are out touring, their first couple jokes will be about the town they're in or their experience or something that happened. And Tom's no different. He's a pro. He's a seasoned veteran with this.
Give it up for T-Mac, everybody. Show.
Yeah, Cardiff.
To capitalize on all this promotion, I will be starting a podcast called Tom Myers Against the Rest of the World immediately.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Some love, come on. Great being here. I'm just wrapping up a 2-week run of shows I'm doing in Pennsylvania. I started in Philadelphia and I finished up here, oddly enough. Which is like, usually like you end in a big city like Philadelphia, so it's just this weird little interesting trajectory of like a big city and then a bunch of small towns and then...
First off, he's just slamming these poor people who happen to live in Hanover, Pennsylvania. And I like that he goes, now normally you would end in a big city. Like, no one else is a touring comedian. We don't know how this normally goes.
Or cares.
Or do we care, yeah. All right, let's keep ripping on these people.
I end up here. Because like, I've been doing this for more than 20 years. A lot of the comics I started with, like they're doing clubs, colleges, some are getting specials on Netflix, they're on streaming services, they're doing commercials, they're doing movies. Me, I'm performing for Amish buggies, sheep, and pretzels. So that's...
Insulting?
Amish buggies, sheep, and pretzels?
That they must make pretzels
it's
there.
a German thing.
Well, Hanover pretzels.
Is a pretzel thing, but why is he performing for pretzels?
Well, we're talking to a potato.
Are they paying him in that?
That's true.
Are they, that's true. He's actually right over there.
He is also pointing out that they could also have been seeing a much better comedian, like one of the comedians he started out with right now.
Yeah, right. Oh, some people you used to know or have Netflix specials. Could you name them, please? Where can I find these? I'm shopping at Netflix.
Pack up your pretzels
watch
and
Netflix right now in the crowd. And you'll see something
Pull
funny.
out your phone.
get in your buggies.
I did a show in a place called Shamokin Dam a couple nights back, and you had to go up this one road, and a very good friend of mine, a very funny comedian named Jared Horning, he made a comment about how there was nothing but porn stores and strip clubs going up this particular road. I thought it was full of shit, and then I drove up that road, and I'm like, holy shit, there is nothing else to fucking do in these towns. And
I don't like his gesturing.
Did he give the name of the street?
Porn stores and strip clubs? Okay. All right, let's go along with this. Let's see what happens here.
it's very insulting. Like in between these two, in between some of these shops, they have a billboard that says "Sex trafficking happens here." No kidding. That billboard is right in between two strip clubs.
You guys following this?
I'm
Yes.
following it.
Okay.
I don't need to be Herschel Walker with a fake badge to be able to figure this shit out.
Topical.
That was topical. But Herschel Walker with a fake badge wouldn't be good at figuring things out because he's not a real cop. So why? Okay.
And there's so many of these places. It's like, okay, remember when you were a kid, you went on a long car trip, what did your parents always ask you? Are you sure you don't have to go to the bathroom before we leave? After you pass the 89th sex shop, it's like they're asking you, okay, now are you sure you don't want to buy a dildo and some lube? If it looks like I'm making eye contact with you right now, I apologize. Let's just go ahead and move this on.
So I guess the joke was the words dildo and lube, right? Mm-hmm. Pretty good jokes. I want to point out, because Tom likes to say that I take out all the laughter that's going on. That one got a reaction from the crowd.
Sure.
Saying dildo and lube got a reaction.
Hilarious.
Pretty good stuff.
But now I'm from a magical place called Maryland, and And like everywhere else, we recently had our midterm elections, and I'm excited about what we did in Maryland because this past November we legalized weed. Weed is going to be legal in Maryland, and I'm happy about that because that means the competition will drive down the price of heroin.
It's not how illegal drugs work at all. Not even close. Oh,
also
marijuana's legalized? Oh, heroin's going to be cheap now. What? Why?
Tom Myers just became funnier, though, in Maryland.
That's true. That's a good point. I don't think he understands how economics works.
I don't think he understands much.
All right.
The heroin problem's so bad down there that, like the Santa Claus on the fire trucks in some neighborhoods, they don't hand out candy canes, they hand out methadone. So that's...
All right, I'm going to point something out because, like I said, I checked this out one time. What he's about to do is go through his entire Baltimore bit, which I'm sure goes over okay in Baltimore. But when you're a touring comedian, you don't just talk about your hometown that no one's ever been to.
Yeah.
For an entire bit. But okay, let's see.
Just as a public service,
Yeah.
a better end to that joke wouldn't have been methadone. It would have been naloxone.
Thanks. Thanks, Cardiff.
Well, I don't think it's funny.
One thing I've learned is to not try to sweeten Tom Myers' jokes. The setups are so bad, it's almost impossible.
I thought I would take a stab at it.
All right, well, keep doing it. Don't let me tell you how to be a potato, all right?
No,
you
no
do
problem.
you.
But our gas is cheaper down there, so 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. It's a very depressing place because I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, and in Baltimore recently they were filming a TV movie called Lady in the Lake, and they had to stop the filming of that because the film crew was threatened by heavily armed drug dealers. Which just goes to show you, if you're doing something in Baltimore and it's not about drug dealers, me, or John Waters, just fucking forget about it, all right? It's weird filming something in Baltimore called Lady in the Lake because it's like in Baltimore, we're not known for our lakes, we're not known for our culture. The only kind of lake we have in Baltimore is our inner harbor. That makes
Woo!
That's a really weird.
Someone here from Inner Harbor?
Woo, harbors. Yeah.
Stutter, you asshole!
Piece of shit.
Piece of shit. Sorry. You've listened to it 1,000 times. I have not. I haven't memorized it yet. I want to hear that again.
we're not known for our culture. The only kind of lake we have in Baltimore is our inner harbor. That makes the Schuylkill River look drinkable. The only kind of culture you'll find in there is flesh eating.
I was wondering why he said culture before. Because we're filming this movie, Lady in the Lake. We're not known for our lakes. We're not known for our culture. What does that have to do with anything?
Right.
And then, okay, because he had the culture. Okay.
Which is
Cultures. Got it.
Baltimore's Inner Harbor is actually a very vibrant place to be if you've ever been.
Do you have any jokes on it, Cardiff? You got to type 5?
It's just awesome.
Woo!
The only ladies you'll find in that lake are dead prostitutes. There's like nothing, you can't really film anything in Baltimore. Like, stuff that's great when filmed anywhere else, not so in Baltimore. Like the TV show Downton Abbey, filmed and set in England. In Baltimore, it would be called Downtown Abbey.
Please clap.
With the title character having about 12 different STDs.
That's the lowest hanging fruit I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Downton Abbey would be Downtown Abbey. Oof. Good. Pretty good stuff.
Now,
I disagree.
Now, wasn't there like arguably the greatest television show ever featured
The
Baltimore?
Wire.
The Wire, yeah.
Like, there's been TV shows about Baltimore, Tom.
There has.
Yes.
Yeah, in Canoga Park, if they made Cheers there, it'd be called Skull!
And Forrest Gump! Forrest Gump is a great cinematic masterpiece, one of the greatest movies of all time. Excellent where it is, set in the South, not in Baltimore. If it was set in Baltimore, the opening sequence of Forrest Gump where it's the little white feather, it's flying around, and it lands at Tom Hanks's feet. If it was set in Baltimore, that wouldn't be a feather, that would be a plastic Royal Farms shopping bag.
Use more words, Tom.
Oh my God.
You know that part in that movie where this thing happens? Well, if that was in Baltimore, that thing that I was just talking about from that movie, if that thing were to happen in Baltimore, instead of where it was, which was a different place, not Baltimore, the difference would be...
And if Forrest Gump was set in Baltimore, by the time Forrest meets Jenny in school, she already has AIDS.
All right, I'm giving him that one. That one's a decent joke. She already has AIDS in high school. That's not bad.
It is Christmas time.
That's not bad.
Sure.
I'm going to give him one.
Give him that one.
Everybody gets one, Tom.
All right.
Listen, I start off with the light shit, all right? So just... I'm only 4 minutes in, so...
Don't do that.
Brace yourselves.
Oh, no. Don't tell me how edgy you are. I just gave you fucking credit and you ruined it.
I don't know why.
Damn it.
Why you fall for that?
It's like you've been there before, Tommy. Come on.
He stinks.
He's only 4 minutes in. He has time to redeem himself.
Okay, yeah, let's see what happens here.
Oh, okay.
There's a few in here that get 0. I mean, 0.
But no, this is fun. I like this, what I do. I'm pretty much like a regular guy. You know, I do this a few times a week, and then, you know, I go out and live my normal life, you know? Basically, I'm like Seinfeld, but with herpes. Only joking. Chlamydia.
Do you realize he stood up there and told all these people, I'm basically a regular guy, like there was some illusion?
Yeah, right. You're not a superhero by day? I had no idea.
Oh my God. You're not some schmuck that's trying to do comedy? Oh.
He goes, I'm just like Seinfeld, except for I have herpes. How do we know Seinfeld doesn't have herpes? He definitely gets laid more than Tom Myers.
Yeah, right.
What the fuck? What does that even mean?
Shoshana.
And then I like that he tagged his own joke with just kidding, chlamydia. This could go all day.
He's becoming less and less appealing.
All right. Fuck, marry,
Hey,
kill, Tom
watch it.
Myers.
Kill.
All right. The game got easy.
So I have this weird reputation. Like, I have this reputation as being a bit of an asshole, as being a bit of a dick. And this happened locally to me. I was in my local shopping mall dozing off in one of those big leather chairs that vibrates because clearly my career is skyrocketing at this point.
What does that have to do with his career?
I don't know.
Those two things don't even connect.
They don't. And it's also another insult to that club.
Well, correct, because he started with that whole thing. It's like, oh, look, all my friends are doing shit. I'm here. And now he's doing
front
it
of you
again.
schmucks.
Yeah, now he's doing it again because of a fucking vibrating chair in the mall. What the fuck? What's this mean?
That's where he sleeps.
And this guy woke me up and said, you know what your problem is? You're an unapproachable dick. And then just walks right off.
All right, I want to point something out. This is something that I've learned from watching really bad stand-up, because Vic Henley and Chad Zumach and now Tom Myers, they all do this thing. It's very easy to do, to write a joke. You just say, this guy comes up to me, or my friend says to me. You just make up something that never happened. Caesar leaves. What an idiot, am I right? And that's like your fucking punchline. Like, that didn't happen, obviously.
A lot of comedians have a premise, right?
Sure.
That's what comedy kind of is based on. But his
premise.
premises are terrible.
I know,
They're so
right.
stupid. I was sleeping in a mall vibrating chair, and some guy came up and said I was an asshole.
This guy approaches me and says, "You're unapproachable."
Yeah, well, right. That's the joke he's about to hit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there going, I don't think you know what unapproachable means. I also don't think you know what irony is. I run a lot of pickup rooms as well for comics. I do a lot of shows on Zoom. I host some shows. And it's neat because you get to work with comics from all over the country and all over the world. I did a show one time with this comedian who was from India. So it was a comedian from India and me, a comedian from Baltimore. So you had a comedian who is from a place that's dirty, filthy, smelly, filled with poor people and people who don't speak English, and a comedian from India. So that was...
I can see that from 3 horizon lines away. Jesus Christ.
I'm a potato. I saw that coming.
Yeah.
He's underground and he can see that coming.
You have way more eyes, though, than we do.
Covered in dirt. Oh,
Oh, potato joke! Yeah!
don't put your
I'll
arms up
forgive
for
you,
that.
Be more funny.
I can't.
Tom is rubbing off on us here. Oof. That would be bad.
That would be really bad.
Can you imagine?
But some of these comics that I have on, because this is an open mic, they're really terrible. Like,
Some Zoom comics aren't very good at comedy.
This one guy, he just kept going on and on and on, didn't really have any punchlines, didn't have a properly structured set. I gave him the signal to wrap it up, and then he says this, like all comics, like know this one comic, they always go, oh, do I have time to tell one more joke? I'm like, you didn't tell any for 5 minutes, so fuck off.
Oh, that's rich.
Yeah, what is he thinking right here? Why is he calling people out for being bad comics? Because you're just planting that seed. Like, is he talking about him?
Remember when we were talking about those two bitches in the beginning looking in the mirror and that's what they were talking about?
Yeah.
I feel like that's exactly what's happening here.
Yeah, that wasn't a Zoom call. That was the mirror.
I really thought he was going to make a mirror joke that he was giving himself the sign to.
Yeah.
And
No,
it gives.
he was actually calling someone out for rambling and never having a punchline. Go figure. This guy's
By the
amazing.
way, before I forget, I was just walking my dog outside and someone came up to me and said, "You're a cunt, Carl."
See, now that's a good joke.
That is a good joke.
But he was doing this really terrible joke, this really terrible sexist joke. The premise of it was, Susan B. Anthony, she wasn't really a looker, was she? I'm like, that joke is not only not funny, misogynist, and crude, but also inaccurate. You know how many times I've jacked off to a silver dollar? And it's no biggie, you just go ahead, wash them off, and then I go ahead and save them for the Uber Eats guy if he's late with my food.
Guys, I don't know if you know this, but you don't give Uber Eats people money. Like in the form
Actual
of
cash?
cash and change.
Yeah, no,
It's
I
just
know.
not how that works. But why would he wash it off first if he's trying to punish this guy for being late with his food?
Yeah, I don't know.
Does he know that money touches a lot of gross things, not just his cum?
And actually, a silver dollar is worth more than $1 in most cases, I
If
think.
you're going to wash it off, I'll take it. It's a pretty good point, too.
It's about $30 an ounce right now.
Wow.
Not bad for a Canadian potato.
Yeah,
It's
right.
pretty good information. I want to
Minnesota.
point out. This Tom put this up. This is on his channel. This is like some jack off in the back going, oh, sweet, Tom Myers is here. Tom thought this was good. He wanted to showcase this to everyone. So I'm amplifying it for him. Here you go, Tommy.
That Jenny with the AIDS joke sounds quite wholesome now, doesn't it?
Not you, Jenny.
He's so proud of himself when he tells a jerk off joke. He's just like, ha, get a load of me, huh, guys?
I get a lot of younger comics trolling me as well on social media. I hate social media just because it's become so toxic, so negative. This one person went ahead and DM'd me on Instagram and said, "Hey Tom, when are you going to start being funny?" And I said, "Probably when I stop banging your mom." And what do you know it? The guy's mom messaged me upset. And I don't know why, to this day, why she was letting her fourth grader on Instagram. I get a lot of these younger comics who try and teach me about comedy, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, listen, I've been doing this since your parents wanted to Plan B your sorry asses, all right? Like, I was perfecting proper joke structure when your dad was chasing your mom with a coat hanger, all right? You will not win a battle of wits with me.
Why is he bringing up proper joke structure and how long he's been doing this and wits? These are all things he should avoid in his act. Because people are going to sit there and be like, oh, you've been doing this a long time? Oh, you think you understand joke structure? You think you're witty? Ooh. Is he going for sympathy?
I don't know what he's going for.
Why is he saying these things?
Listen, I'm not a comedian, so what do I know?
Yeah, no, he's probably pretty good.
I mean, he said he is.
I just can't believe he's going, a lot of other comedians who haven't been doing it as long as me tell me how to make my act better. And I'm like, fuck you.
Fuck you, I won't.
Yeah, right. I refuse to learn, asshole.
Why?
I've never heard Mark Norman get up and be like, yeah, people have been telling me how to do a better act. And no one does that to people who are good. It's because you suck, Tom.
Nobody puts it in their act.
Yeah, that too.
Younger comics sometimes ask me for advice too, believe it or not.
I'm sure they don't.
Believe it or not.
I don't believe it.
Bullshit.
Believe it or not. All right. For the purpose of this joke, they also asked me for advice. All right, what do we got?
One comic asked me, "Hey Tom, what's the quickest way to become famous as a comedian?" And I said, "Say something racist or get accused of sexual assault." It's late 2022. What do you want me to say? Write jokes? No, fuck that shit. But I'll go ahead and end on a positive note. Not really. I just wanted to give you guys a brief moment of hope. My grandparents were married.
Are you going to pull out a gun and put it in his mouth?
I got my fingers crossed. Guys, his closer rivals the squeegee bit. It's so bad. This is incredible. I can't believe he thinks that this is his closer.
Guys, a brief moment of hope.
Taking notes.
Yeah. Also, he's talking about how he's like doing on this tour and he's going around doing comedy. He did a 9-minute act here. This is not. It's not even feature length.
He drove to Hanover, Pennsylvania to do 10 minutes.
To do 10 minutes, yeah.
I spent $100 to do 10 minutes and get paid 20.
And complain about it on stage.
Yeah, win-win.
$80 in the hole.
Almost as bad as driving to Rochester to hold a tape recorder over your head.
Yeah. Seriously.
Did you drive?
Yes, from Minnesota.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My grandparents were married in 1946, and they're still together. Because my family loves them so much, they're not quite ready to bury their corpses yet.
All right, the only reaction you got from that one was, oh.
And that's the right one.
No, well, he's going to sweeten it. Here we go. Let's tag that one, Tommy.
Only joking! I haven't told anybody they're dead yet because I'm still hooked on their meds. Hanover, it's been an absolute pleasure. My name is Tom Myers. Enjoy the rest of your show. Thank you so much. Good night.
My grandparents are still together.
Ugh.
Waka waka.
Wow. Wowie.
Whew.
Does everybody want
That was
to
bad.
try to recover from that one?
That put me in a bad mood.
Tommy Two Tags over here.
I know, he just throws so many things at once against the wall, hoping something sticks.
Who are these podcasts? WA